Chosen one, everything that went wrong is now going right, and the tables have turned. Listen carefully, because this moment carries something gentle yet powerful that you do not want to miss. Something that can shift your heart, calm your fears, and quietly change the direction of your life in a way that feels like a soft miracle unfolding right before your eyes. If this message touches your heart in any way, type 999 in the comments. There was a time when everything seemed to fall apart, when doors closed without warning, and when your prayers felt like they were floating in silence. But even in those hidden moments, God was working in ways your eyes could not yet understand. If you feel even a small spark of hope rising inside you, type yes in the comments. There were nights when your heart felt heavy, when you tried to understand why things kept going wrong, and when it felt like every step forward was followed by a step back, leaving you tired and confused. Yet even in that quiet struggle, the presence of God was near, watching over you with a love so deep that it never once left your side, even when you felt completely alone. The truth is that nothing you went through was wasted, and nothing you felt was unseen, because every tear, every prayer, and every moment of waiting was part of something bigger that God was preparing for you. Somewhere in that journey, even when you did not notice it, Jesus was gently guiding your path, protecting you from things that could have hurt you more deeply, and slowly turning situations around in ways that would one day make sense. It may not have felt like protection at the time, and it may not have looked like love in the moment, but God's ways are often quiet and unseen, working beneath the surface while your heart learns to trust again. There comes a moment when everything begins to shift, not suddenly like a storm, but softly like the first light of morning, where you start to feel peace again, where hope begins to return, and where things that once seemed broken begin to heal. This is the moment where the tables begin to turn, where what went wrong starts to align in a new way, and where God's promises begin to unfold gently in your life. If this message is bringing peace into your heart, take a moment to like this video, because your support helps this message reach others who are quietly waiting for hope and healing. The pain you once carried starts to feel lighter, not because it disappears completely, but because God strengthens your heart in a way that makes you feel held, supported, and deeply loved. You begin to understand that what felt like delays were actually moments of preparation, where God was shaping your strength, your patience, and your faith so that you could receive what is coming with a heart that is ready. Jesus never rushed your journey, and he never forgot you in your waiting. Every step you took, even the uncertain ones, were seen and guided with care, even when you could not feel it. The moments where you thought you had lost everything were actually moments where God was removing what was not meant for you, gently clearing the path for something better, something more aligned with his love and purpose for your life. There is a quiet beauty in how God restores what feels broken, because he does not just return things to how they were, but he makes them new, filling them with peace, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose that you could not have imagined before. What once brought you pain now becomes a reminder of how far you have come and how faithful God has been through every step of your journey. You begin to notice small changes first, little moments of joy, unexpected peace, and a sense that things are finally moving in the right direction. These are not coincidences, but gentle signs that God is at work, slowly bringing everything together in a way that reflects his love and care for you. The doors that once closed now lead you to better paths, and the things that once confused you now begin to make sense with time. As your heart begins to heal, you also begin to trust again, not in circumstances, but in God's timing and his perfect plan for your life. This trust brings a calmness that stays with you, even when things are still unfolding, because you know that you are no longer walking alone. Jesus walks beside you, guiding you with love, reminding you that everything is being turned for your good. There is something deeply comforting about realizing that what went wrong did not define your story, and that God's love has the power to rewrite every chapter with hope, peace, and purpose. The tables have turned not because of chance, but because God never stopped working, never stopped loving you, and never stopped preparing something beautiful for your life. As you move forward, you carry a new strength within you, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing that God is with you in every moment, guiding your steps, protecting your heart, and leading you toward a future filled with light and peace. What once felt like endings now becomes beginnings, and what once felt like loss now becomes growth. Your journey is not over, but something has shifted within you, something that allows you to see with new eyes and feel with a renewed heart. The love of God surrounds you, the presence of Jesus comforts you, and the path ahead is filled with gentle hope that continues to grow stronger each day. Most people ignored this strange 7-second exercise when they first heard about it. That changed when stories began surfacing from people who had paid off debt, upgraded their lifestyles, purchased new homes, and experienced unexpected financial improvements. A recently surfaced CIA document points to an unusual brainwave process that is rapidly gaining attention online. Reports claim that 4 separate neuroscience research teams examined the method and found evidence that it may help shift mental patterns connected to wealth, opportunity, and personal success. Those who once struggled financially now say money seems to appear in ways they never anticipated. As interest grows, information about this method is becoming increasingly difficult to find. Click the link in the description and comments below to learn what everyone is talking about. There is a calmness beginning to settle in your spirit, a soft peace that replaces the confusion and fear that once filled your thoughts. And it is not something that comes from circumstances, but something that flows directly from the presence of Jesus, who has been walking with you even in the moments where you felt abandoned or forgotten. This peace is different, because it does not depend on what is happening around you, but instead grows from a deep understanding that God is in control and that His love is carrying you forward. If you feel this quiet peace growing within your heart, type 222 in the comments. You begin to notice that situations which once caused you pain are no longer affecting you in the same way, and the things that once felt heavy now seem lighter, not because they disappeared, but because God has strengthened your heart and given you the ability to rise above them with grace and calmness. There is a quiet transformation taking place, one that does not rush or force change, but gently reshapes your thoughts, your feelings, and your understanding of life itself. The presence of Jesus brings a softness into your journey, a comforting reminder that you are deeply loved and never alone, even when life feels uncertain or unclear. His love does not demand perfection, and it does not judge your past, but instead embraces you exactly as you are, while guiding you toward something better with patience and kindness that never fades. This love becomes your foundation, something you can hold on to when everything else feels unstable. There is also a new clarity beginning to form, where things that once seemed confusing now begin to make sense in a quiet and gentle way, as if God is slowly revealing the purpose behind each step you have taken. You start to understand that the delays, the disappointments, and even the moments of loss were not meant to harm you, but to protect you and prepare you for something that aligns more deeply with God's plan for your life. This understanding does not come all at once but unfolds gradually, like light filling a room at sunrise, bringing warmth, visibility, and a sense of calm that replaces the darkness that once surrounded you. You begin to see your journey differently, not as a series of struggles, but as a path carefully guided by God, filled with lessons that have shaped your strength and deepened your faith. In this season, there is also a quiet restoration happening within your heart, where the broken pieces are being gently healed, and where the pain that once felt overwhelming is now being replaced with hope and renewal. God does not rush this process, because true healing takes time, and His desire is not just to fix what was broken, but to make it stronger, more beautiful, and more aligned with His love. If you trust that God is working behind the scenes for your good, type 2020 in the comments. There is something deeply comforting about knowing that you are being led into a place of peace, where your heart can rest without fear, and where your soul can feel safe in the presence of God's love. This is not a temporary feeling, but a lasting change that continues to grow as you walk forward with faith, allowing Jesus to guide your steps and shape your path. The tables have truly begun to turn, not in a sudden or dramatic way, but in a steady and meaningful transformation that touches every part of your life, bringing balance where there was once confusion and bringing clarity where there was once doubt. You begin to notice that the things which once held you back no longer have the same power, and the obstacles that once seemed impossible are now becoming opportunities for growth and strength. God's love is not just restoring what was lost, but creating something new, something that carries a deeper sense of purpose and meaning, allowing you to step into a life that feels aligned, peaceful, and filled with quiet joy. This joy does not come from external success, but from an inner connection with God, a relationship that brings comfort, guidance, and a sense of belonging that nothing else can replace. As you continue this journey, there is a growing sense of trust within you, a confidence that does not rely on circumstances, but on the unchanging love of God who has been faithful through every moment of your life. This trust allows you to move forward without fear, knowing that even when challenges arise, you are not facing them alone, because Jesus is always with you, guiding, protecting, and comforting you with His presence. You are not the same person you were before, because everything you have gone through has shaped you into someone stronger, more compassionate, and more connected to God's love. What once felt like setbacks are now part of your testimony, a reminder of how far you have come and how deeply you have been loved and cared for through every step. The journey ahead is filled with hope, not because it will be without challenges, but because you now carry within you a peace and strength that comes from God, allowing you to face whatever comes with confidence and calmness. The path may still unfold slowly, but it is steady, guided, and filled with a quiet assurance that everything is moving in the right direction. There was a time when your thoughts were filled with worry, when your heart searched for answers that never seemed to come, and when every delay felt like a sign that something had gone wrong. But now there is a new understanding growing within you that God was never late, and that every moment of waiting was part of something meaningful that needed to unfold at the right time. This understanding brings a quiet comfort, allowing you to breathe more freely and feel more grounded in your faith. If you feel that God is bringing calm into your heart, type 1111 in the comments. What if the ability to attract greater wealth has been inside your mind all along? Newly revealed CIA-related research describes a brief 7-second routine believed to activate a little-known mental state associated with abundance and achievement. According to reports, the technique was reviewed by multiple neuroscience laboratories and is now being used daily by thousands of people looking to escape financial pressure and create a life filled with freedom, travel, and opportunity. Due to growing attention, access to this information may not remain available for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. As this calmness continues to grow, you begin to notice that your reactions are changing, and the things that once disturbed your peace no longer have the same effect on you, because your heart is becoming stronger, steadier, and more rooted in the love of God. This transformation is not something you forced, but something that has been happening naturally as you stayed connected to Jesus, even in the moments when you felt weak or uncertain. There is also a gentle restoration happening in areas of your life where you once felt broken or discouraged, and it is not just about fixing what went wrong, but about creating something new that carries a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. God does not simply return you to where you were before, but leads you into a place where you can experience greater peace, clearer direction, and a stronger connection to His presence. In this season, you may begin to see small blessings appearing in unexpected ways, little moments that remind you that God is near, guiding your steps and opening doors that are meant for you. These moments may seem simple, but they carry a powerful message, showing you that everything is beginning to align and that the path ahead is being carefully prepared with love and intention. Within the first few steps forward, there is also a growing sense of confidence that begins to take root inside you, not a loud or overwhelming confidence, but a quiet assurance that you are exactly where you need to be, and that God is leading you in the right direction. This confidence does not come from your own strength, but from the awareness that Jesus is with you, guiding your every step with care and wisdom. If you believe that God is guiding your path even now, type 999 in the comments. There is something deeply comforting about knowing that the things which once caused you pain are now being used for your growth, and that nothing you experienced was meaningless or wasted. God has a way of turning even the most difficult moments into something beautiful, shaping your heart in ways that prepare you for the blessings that are ahead. As you continue to move forward, you may notice that your perspective has changed, and that you are able to see things more clearly, with a sense of peace that allows you to trust the process without needing to control every detail. This shift in perspective is a sign that your faith is growing and that your heart is becoming more aligned with God's plan for your life. There is also a gentle sense of renewal that begins to fill your spirit, bringing with it a feeling of hope that continues to grow stronger with each passing day. This hope is not fragile, and it is not easily shaken, because it is rooted in the love of God, a love that remains constant and unchanging, no matter what happens around you. The tables have truly turned in ways that may not always be visible at first, but are deeply real and meaningful, touching every part of your life and bringing a sense of balance that replaces the chaos you once felt. You begin to see that what once seemed like setbacks were actually steps forward, guiding you toward a future that is more aligned with your purpose. Jesus is gently leading you into a place where you can experience not only peace, but also joy, a quiet and steady joy that comes from knowing that you are loved, protected, and guided every step of the way. This joy does not depend on external circumstances, but flows from a deep connection with God, a connection that continues to grow stronger as you walk forward in faith. There is a new chapter opening before you, one that carries a sense of possibility and hope, allowing you to step into a life that feels more peaceful, more meaningful, and more aligned with who you are meant to be. This chapter is not defined by your past struggles, but by the love and grace of God, who is continually working to bring good into your life. As you embrace this new season, there is a growing sense of gratitude that begins to fill your heart, not just for what is coming, but for everything you have been through, because it has brought you closer to God and helped you become stronger in ways you never imagined. This gratitude brings a sense of peace that stays with you, allowing you to move forward with a calm and trusting heart. There was a time when your heart felt tired from waiting, when it seemed like nothing was changing, and when every effort you made felt like it led nowhere. Yet even in those silent seasons, Jesus was working gently behind the scenes, preparing something that required time, care, and perfect timing to unfold in your life. What felt like stillness was not emptiness, but a quiet preparation for something meaningful and lasting. If you feel that God has been preparing something beautiful for you, type 1212 in the comments. As you continue walking forward, there is a soft confidence that begins to rise within you, one that is not loud or overwhelming, but calm and steady, reminding you that you are being guided in the right direction, even when you do not have all the answers. This confidence grows from your connection with God, from the quiet moments where you feel His presence bringing comfort and reassurance into your life. There is also a deep healing taking place within your heart, one that reaches into the places where you once felt hurt, rejected, or misunderstood, and gently restores those areas with love, peace, and a sense of belonging that only God can provide. This healing does not erase your past, but transforms it into something that no longer holds power over you, allowing you to move forward with freedom and hope. A little-known discovery hidden within leaked CIA research is generating worldwide attention. The technique takes only 7 seconds and is believed to place the brain into a powerful state linked to financial growth and success. Researchers from 4 neuroscience facilities reportedly observed unusual effects connected to this process. Since then, people have shared stories of unexpected income, dream vacations, luxury purchases, and opportunities they never thought possible. Awareness of this method remains limited, and the page revealing it could vanish without warning. Click the link in the description and comments below to see why interest is spreading so quickly. In this season, you may begin to notice that the things which once seemed important are no longer holding the same weight in your life, and that your focus is shifting toward what truly matters, which is your relationship with God and the peace that comes from trusting Him. This shift brings clarity, helping you see what is truly meant for you and what was never meant to stay in your life. There is a quiet renewal happening within your spirit, bringing fresh strength and a deeper sense of purpose that allows you to move forward with calmness and trust. This renewal is not something you create on your own, but something that flows from God's love, gently filling the empty spaces with hope and light. If you trust that Jesus is guiding every step of your journey, type 1010 in the comments. The path ahead may still have moments of uncertainty, but your heart is no longer overwhelmed by fear, because you have come to understand that God's presence is constant, and that He is always with you, guiding you with care and wisdom. This understanding allows you to walk forward with a steady heart, knowing that you are never alone. There is also a growing sense of gratitude within you, one that does not depend on everything being perfect, but comes from recognizing how far you have come and how faithfully God has carried you through every challenge. This gratitude brings a sense of peace that stays with you, allowing you to appreciate each moment and trust in what is still unfolding. The tables have turned in a way that is quiet yet powerful, bringing balance where there was once confusion and opening doors where there were once obstacles, allowing you to step into a life that feels more aligned with God's plan for you. You begin to see that what once felt like setbacks were actually steps that guided you toward this new beginning. Jesus is gently leading you into a place where your heart can rest, where your spirit can feel at peace, and where you can experience the joy that comes from being deeply loved and guided by God. This joy is not dependent on external circumstances, but flows from a deep connection with Him, bringing light into your life in a way that feels steady and comforting. There is something deeply reassuring about knowing that everything is unfolding as it should, even if you do not fully understand it yet, because God's timing is always perfect, and His plans are always filled with love and purpose. This reassurance allows you to release the need to control every outcome, and instead trust in the process that is guiding you forward. As you continue this journey, there is a sense of freedom that begins to grow within you, freeing you from the weight of past disappointments and allowing you to move forward with a heart that is open, hopeful, and ready to receive what God has prepared for you. This freedom is a gift, one that allows you to fully embrace the present moment and step confidently into the future. You are no longer defined by what went wrong, because God has transformed those moments into something meaningful, shaping your story in a way that reflects His love and grace. What once felt like loss is now becoming a source of strength, reminding you of how much you have grown and how deeply you have been cared for. The journey ahead is filled with quiet hope, steady peace, and a sense of purpose that continues to grow stronger with each step you take, guiding you toward a life that feels more aligned, more fulfilling, and more connected to God's love. You begin to understand that everything that happened was part of a greater plan, one that is now unfolding in a way that brings light into your life. There were moments in your past where you questioned your direction, where every step seemed uncertain, and where your heart longed for clarity that never seemed to arrive. Yet now, you begin to see that even those moments were part of a greater design, one that required trust and patience to fully understand. God was not distant in those times, and He was not silent without reason, but was carefully shaping your path in a way that would lead you to this very moment of understanding. If you feel that your life is being guided by God's gentle hand, type 777 in the comments. As this awareness grows, you begin to notice that your thoughts are becoming calmer, and your heart is no longer filled with the same level of fear or doubt that once held you back, because there is a new sense of security forming within you. This security does not come from knowing every detail of your future, but from trusting that God already knows and that His plan is filled with love, care, and purpose. There is also a soft strength rising within you, one that does not seek to prove anything to the world, but simply rests in the knowledge that you are deeply loved and fully supported by God's presence. This strength allows you to face life with a calm confidence, knowing that whatever comes your way, you will not face it alone, because Jesus is walking beside you, guiding you with patience and kindness. In this season, there is a gentle realignment happening in your life, where things that once felt out of place are now beginning to settle into a sense of order and balance, as if God is quietly arranging everything in a way that brings peace and clarity. The confusion that once surrounded you is slowly fading, replaced by a deeper understanding that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There is also a quiet restoration happening in your relationships, in your thoughts, and in your emotions, bringing healing to areas that once felt broken or incomplete. This restoration is not forced or rushed, but happens naturally as you continue to trust in God's timing and allow His love to work within you. Some are calling this one of the most remarkable wealth discoveries ever revealed. Newly uncovered CIA files describe a simple 7-second brainwave technique believed to help recondition the mind for prosperity and abundance. Supported by findings reportedly reviewed by 4 neuroscience research centers, this daily practice is attracting attention from people seeking financial breakthroughs. Many claim it helped them move from financial struggle to greater stability, freedom, and success. Information surrounding this technique is becoming harder to locate online. Click the link in the description and comments below before it is gone. If you believe that God is restoring what was once broken, type 555 in the comments. The tables have turned in a way that reflects God's faithfulness, showing you that what once seemed like loss was actually protection, and what once felt like rejection was actually redirection toward something better. You begin to see that every closed door was guiding you toward the right path, even when it did not make sense at the time. There is something deeply comforting about recognizing that your life is not random, and that every detail is being carefully guided by a loving God who sees your heart, understands your struggles, and desires to bring peace into every part of your journey. This realization brings a sense of calm that stays with you, even when things are still unfolding. As you continue to walk forward, there is a growing sense of alignment within you, where your thoughts, your actions, and your faith begin to move together in harmony, creating a life that feels more peaceful and more connected to God's purpose. This alignment allows you to move forward with clarity, without the confusion that once clouded your decisions. Jesus is gently leading you into a place where your heart can rest, where your mind can feel at ease, and where your spirit can experience a deep sense of peace that is not easily shaken. This peace becomes your foundation, something you can rely on no matter what happens around you. There is also a quiet joy that begins to grow within you, one that does not depend on external success or approval, but comes from the simple truth that you are loved, valued, and guided by God. This joy is steady and calm, bringing light into your life in a way that feels natural and comforting. As this transformation continues, you begin to understand that everything you went through was preparing you for this moment, where you can step into a life that is filled with purpose, peace, and a deeper connection to God's love. The journey may not have been easy, but it has led you to a place of growth and understanding that could not have been reached any other way. There is a sense of gratitude that fills your heart as you reflect on how far you have come and how faithfully God has guided you through every step, even when you did not realize it at the time. This gratitude brings a sense of peace, allowing you to appreciate the present moment while trusting in what is still to come. The path ahead is no longer filled with uncertainty in the same way, because you now carry within you a trust that allows you to move forward with calmness and confidence, knowing that God is leading you toward something good. This trust becomes your strength, guiding you through every moment with a sense of assurance that everything is unfolding as it should. There were times when you looked at your situation and felt as though nothing was moving, as though your efforts were unnoticed, and as though your prayers were being delayed without reason. Yet now you begin to see that God was not delaying anything, but aligning everything carefully, so that when it came together, it would bring lasting peace instead of temporary relief. This realization brings a gentle clarity, allowing you to understand that every pause had a purpose. If you feel that God's timing has always been perfect in your life, type 888 in the comments. As this clarity settles within you, your heart begins to release the need to hold on to past disappointments, and there is a soft letting go that takes place, freeing you from the weight of what once felt heavy and overwhelming. This release is not forced, but happens naturally, as you begin to trust that what has passed is no longer meant to define your present or your future. There is also a renewed sense of direction forming within you, one that feels calm and certain, guiding you toward choices that align with peace rather than confusion, and toward paths that bring growth instead of struggle. This direction does not come from pressure, but from a quiet knowing that God is leading you step by step with care and intention. In this season, you may begin to notice that the people, places, and situations around you are also shifting, creating space for new connections, new opportunities, and new experiences that feel more aligned with who you are becoming. These changes may feel subtle, but they carry a deeper purpose, showing you that everything is being gently rearranged to support your journey. There is a quiet strength within you now that was not there before, one that allows you to stand firm even when things are uncertain, because you no longer rely on what you can see, but on the presence of God that you can feel within your heart. This strength is calm, steady, and deeply rooted in faith, allowing you to move forward without fear. If you trust that God is leading you into something better, type 333 in the comments. The tables have turned in ways that are becoming more visible with time, and you begin to notice that situations which once worked against you are now beginning to work in your favor, bringing opportunities and outcomes that feel aligned and meaningful. This shift is not sudden, but steady, reflecting the quiet and consistent way that God works within your life. There is something deeply reassuring about knowing that you are not trying to fix everything on your own anymore, because God has taken hold of your journey, guiding it with wisdom and care that goes beyond your understanding. This realization brings a sense of relief, allowing you to rest in the knowledge that you are supported in every moment.